Hey everyone, welcome to the behind the scenes Cumberland Run Dial C for Country. We're going through some old footage. We kind of had this intention when in the studio at Blackbird last year to have some behind the scenes specifically for our Indiegogo patrons to show you and share with you a bit of our experience in the studio and maybe find some fun little Easter eggs hidden throughout there of us, having a good time in the studio with each other.
Yeah, so we took these when we were in the studio. We can't remember necessarily what's all in them, but join us. We're going to go through them, and hopefully, you'll get a behind the scenes look at how we made this album and why it's so special to us. This has been a long time coming. So, thank you for your support, first of all. And yeah, let's dive in. So, the first one we got here looks like Thomas singing.
Yeah, that was scratch tracks. That's scratch vocals, and that means when you record the basic, like the bass line for what you want to hear in the final product, but you're not doing the actual take for the final product. It's reference tracks for everyone else to play too.
Right.
And I did end up singing lead on this song. But I did all of the reference tracks for everyone for all four songs originally before Ben came in and did the final vocals on the rest of the music. This was done on a music stand. That's why it's below me like that. That's my phone just facing up at me. I just knew I had to get a lot of candid photography and videography, and
Classic.
yeah. I'm glad I got this one. It's pretty cool. Oh, I don't need no classification.
I like the hand mode.
Yeah, doing my best Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Almost whistle tone.
Yeah. You got to put the finger in the ear. That's what gets the whistle, is the finger in the ear. But it's cool because all of us were in the studio and the band is all going at the same time. We're listening to this to just reference where we are in the song so we don't lose our place on the chart. But then later, this vocal gets replaced by either Thomas or whoever else is going to sing it. So it's kind of neat. Like, there's no pressure for Thomas to do it perfect or anything. We're just listening to it so we know where we are in the track.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right. This next one, this looks like Sam.
That's Sam.
Shredding on the pink guitar.
Pink Paisley.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, that's Elon. Yeah, that's the first little interlude, I think, after the first half of the first verse or something.
Yeah, and notice how quiet it is, and we're gonna get to that in a little bit. But he's able to record in the same room as the drums and the bass because in that scenario, in those three, the drums are really the only thing that's really making a lot of noise.
You can't see it right now specifically, but there's a door back to the right of the footage, and that is where his amp is. It's a little hallway, and there's a bunch of cables and inputs in there, and they put the amps in there to isolate them so that they can have them as loud as they want, but not bleed over the rest of the instruments.
That's awesome. Oh, this is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Check this out. This is the ceiling in one of the...
In the...
Changing the ceiling height at the touch of a button.
That's Ernesto.
That was our awesome engineer.
Awesome engineer. But look, there's microphones attached to that bar that's just hanging up there. And Ernesto has that switch that he can lower them or raise them. And it's the whole ceiling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the whole ceiling is raising or lowering. I think he's raising it.
It's like the trash compactor in
Star Wars.
So if he doesn't like your take, he can just
smash you.
Crush you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he didn't do that. We didn't lose anybody this session. But
they use that for room mics. So it's actually just a little room between the externals of the studio and the internals, like where we're recording, and the parking lot on the outside. It's, I guess, like a little foyer.
Yeah.
So they keep one of the doors open to where the bass and the drums and the guitar were, to kind of give it a full room sound, and they can raise and lower that microphone in order to give it more of a cavernous sound or a smashed, more condensed sound.
That's cool. Then we got Tristan on his blue guitar.
Actually, that's Jim Lill's blue guitar.
Oh,
that's
it's
Jim Lill's SG Gibson.
And Jim Lill is, of course, our producer.
He was my co-producer for the record, and I'm so glad that I got him. He's actually a good old buddy of ours. We went to Belmont with him.
Yep. Belmont
once upon a time, he also auditioned for Cumberland Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking great guitarist.
Oh, yeah. Killer guy.
Yeah, don't adjust your TV set. That's all the sound you're getting out of that. Again, his amp is in the back room.
Hallway or something, yeah.
And I think when we heard Sam earlier, they might have had the door open for him because he was just doing some overdubs. But this is true tracking going on.
Just all you're hearing is that.
All you're hearing is what's coming out of the instrument itself.
Yeah, the strings, a little bit of body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Old Road Romeo.
Oh, yeah. There's like, 1,000 guitar layers on that?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that song.
And then this one, isn't this a TikTok video we did?
Yeah,
this is for the... That's the solo to Y'allville, right? Or what?
No, it's Elon.
The Elon,
That's
yeah.
Elon, yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. That's a really fun song. And they let me just go crazy on that solo, so that was really fun. And he captured it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a cool one. You Behind the Throne.
Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, this is a full song here, so we might have to scrub around
Yeah,
a little bit.
we'll scrub for it.
I think this is License. It could be Elon, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Using the fire grain sticks.
Now he has a little foot switch under his left foot that goes for this microphone here, and that's to talk to us in the studio because we're all tracking at the same time. Also to talk to the producer and Ernesto that's back in the booth. Plus all the students that were watching this session live because they were learning how to record by watching us.
That's License, yeah. Our good old train beat song, Money Beats.
So Thomas has a click going on in his ear that's basically keeping him on the beat. And then we're all tracking at the same time. You can't hear anybody but him, but he's got the bass player and the drummer, Stino and Sam.
Drummer?
Sorry, the guitar player in there with
Sam
him.
and Stino in there with me.
And then if you see this little door in the background, the red and yellow, I'm behind there.
Well,
this one.
Yeah, you're behind that one.
This one.
The one you're circling.
That's the exit.
That was the cavity room.
With the room.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Thomas playing on
License
to Trill.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite song. That's
Is
it? That's a burner.
That's a burner, yeah.
Dude, I know it's
a crowd favorite. A lot of people really like that.
It's not a crazy fiddle song, which I normally those are my favorites, but
it wins a little bit. Wins some points.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, this is another one of Tristan on Jim's guitar. Which one is he?
It's more of Old Road. I think that's the only one he used this
guitar
guitar
for. So you can... Somebody's got their headphones still on near the camera.
No, I deliberately took Sam's headphones and held it up to the phone. Yeah.
I was man, somebody's bleeding a lot through their
because I knew that we were going to do this later and behind the scenes stuff, and I wanted people to actually be able to hear.
So go back for just a second. You can
hear Ben singing, and you can also hear Jim talk to him in a second.
Yeah, we'll try and boost that so you can hear it. Hopefully you heard that. That was Jim Lill talking to Tristan, basically telling him, notes. That's great, but can we do it this way, or can we change this note? All these different kind of notes. And
all the guys have charts. That's what they're looking at when they're just kind of 1,000-yard staring at their amplifiers. Yeah, here's some good...
I can punch in going into those turnarounds to hit instead of doing the
That's cool. So he's given Jim another option, and I think it's the one we actually used on the record.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the walk down bass line on the guitar, we did the little turnaround lick that Thomas came up with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, technically, I came up with
No,
all of it.
I know. That was like your signature lick.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good of Tristan to like, hey, why
Give
don't we
options.
throw in this signature lick here instead of
Yeah.
just the walk down? You
Yeah,
know?
it's been said, and we've come to terms with this, but because we've done this before and not had what we need, it's better to bring the ideas to life and have everything and not need it, rather than just say, we don't need it, and then
Right.
want it later and not have the thing that you need.
So Tristan was
can
saying,
always just
I
throw things
tracked
out.
it that way. Let me track it way B. You know, track it both ways, and then you guys can choose what ends up on the cutting room floor. Let's see what this is.
It sounds real basic here, but there's a ton of distortion on these guitars.
But you also, I can't wait for you guys to hear this record.
Yeah.
Old Road Romeo, there's so many guitar layers. You notice like this one is just the strums and the chunk. That's just a base layer of what everything else is doing. Like there's like 3 other guitar parts on top of that make the full like thick sound of this song. So now that you've seen that, I want you to listen and see if you can pick out that guitar, because they did Ernesto and Thomas did such a good job of making sure everything had its space. So even when there's guitar stacks, if you know what you're listening for, you can tell like there's a guitar doing this and there's a guitar doing that, you know.
A big element in the final mix of this song actually was Ernesto and I were trying to figure out the right kind of ambiance and the right kind of environment for the guitars. You can add effects, of course, to music, and we found this effect for some of the guitars in there called Giant Cistern. We went through a bunch of options like Wembley Stadium and Silo, and it basically replicates the sound of the inside of these areas.
That's awesome.
And Giant Cistern is just like a basically a big silo full of water.
I didn't even know that. That's really funny.
So there's so many parts of the song that are augmented with Giant Cistern.
There's more Tristan doing that. All right, let's keep going. We got Sam here. Let's see what he's cutting on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he definitely had some of his amp coming in the room, because at this point he's doing what we're calling overdubs, which is basically like day one we have everybody in the studio. This might even be the same day, but we have
day one.
at the first take that we do is everybody playing together, and then we go back and go, okay, let's go ahead and cut that guitar part for real. Let's cut that vocal for real. Let's cut that fiddle for real.
Yeah, talking about taste and crunch.
Yeah. So again, asking questions. I love all of our musicians in this band. Like they're all so sensitive to just not like there's not just one good way to do things. Like there's maybe 5 awesome ways to do something, but one of them serves the song better.
Yeah, a great thing about Cumberland Run is that we all kind of have our personality feed into the group. It's not just serving my vision or whatever. I ask them what do you think is gonna really bring this thing to life.
And sometimes like the one that we choose isn't necessarily like our favorite to play. Like it's not the one that shows us off the most, but we all agree it's like no, that has to be like that, because it otherwise it's distracting or whatever.
It
you know,
serves the song.
Let's see what but you hear that click. So even over his mix, he's hearing all that.
I hear my drums for sure. There's the click.
And I really like that we got, multiple guitars on this, just stacked. It was just it's so fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's just going to be more...
Well, I mean, it might be Elon or
Let's see.
something. Let's just see. Nah, it's just probably regular.
Yeah, let's see what this one is.
Let's just see
Okay,
what
so he's hearing what Sam just did. And he's adding this little part on top.
I love that part. And there's some harmonics in there. arpeggios.
But it's cool because we just watched Sam track this part, and now we're watching what Tristan does on top of it.
Rhythm guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk for a second, I think.
Yeah. Probably use the Chunk Chunk Park on the second verse. That's cool. So now they're talking about placement. They're like, we like what you did, but let's place it.
Yeah, as far as mix goes, this song is a spiritual successor to "Sold My Soul to Country." It carries that same vibe.
One of my favorite songs.
Yeah, but it's not. It's. I don't want to say it's a ballad. It's not a ballad, but it is definitely more of a sensual song, I guess.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more feeling.
Yeah, a
behind
little more
it.
feeling behind it than just like in your face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little realer than that.
yeah.
Let's see what this is. Oh, that's just okay.
Yeah,
We'll
Tristan's
pause.
leaving the studio. That's what that is.
Yeah, we'll pause here. Look, that is if you're in my room or the big room where I
Studio
tracked.
A or something.
Yeah. You can see into the control room there. So that's Stino. Let's see, I'll point to it right here. That's
Yeah,
Stino
that's
right
Stino.
here that did the bass. There's Tristan we just saw. This is Jim.
Yeah.
That's our producer. That He's sitting there, and Ernesto is
Ernesto.
over there
That's
working with a student.
from the Blackbird Academy.
And so that's what was so cool about
Yeah.
this. We actually did this whole thing at the Blackbird Academy. They had students not only in that room, but then in another room, they were pushing all of our sound so they could hear everyone talking, they could hear everybody tracking, and they could see us on camera. And they're basically all learning
in real time, yeah.
in real time while they're tracking this session. So it was really cool to not only make music this way, but see the students get to be involved and
This is actually our second year working with Blackbird Academy. We also recorded What We Live For EP, the debut EP we did in 2021, also with the Blackbird Academy, and we're so grateful to them. They're just, that's where we met Ernesto, and it's just been a magic relationship since
Ernesto,
then.
you're the man.
The man.
The man. All right, what's Sam?
Woo! Talking about the tremolo wave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like a nice, hard, square tremolo.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that in Boulevard of Broken Dreams and things like that. Ticka, 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 ticka.
Good reference.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cool to see how much thought was put into this stuff. It's not just like plug and play.
Yeah, and it took so long even after all the recording was done. That's why we're just doing this commentary now,
Yeah.
basically a week before the 1 year anniversary of recording the record.
Here we are. This is so neat.
Yeah, I had a bad string.
Jim was like, "What was that?" Sam said he had a dead string, meaning one of his fingers probably
Muted a
accidentally muted a string.
Mhm.
And
Listen to that delay, man.
yeah,
Sometimes I don't know how guitars do that. Having so much delay, it's like, it would kind of bug me.
yeah, for sure. All right.
And give him more notes. Let's see what this is.
Sam's always cracking me up, man. Listening to Jim a little bit.
Giving some notes. All of Jim's guitars over there. A Rickenbacker and a SG that Tristan was
okay.
playing earlier. Different takes of the same thing. You want to scrub forward and see if he talks to him
Yeah.
again? Yeah, right there.
That sound right? Yes.
Asking him to swing it. Oh,
Yeah.
he's adjusting his pedals. Yeah, he turned the intensity down.
Very cool.
They're scooping it. That's what they're doing. Do you want to explain what scooping is?
I'm not really sure what it is in this context.
Well, in general, like what like scooping the mids. Are you familiar with that concept?
Yeah, so when you're talking about EQ, you've got your highs, you got your highs and you got your lows, and basically when you scoop something, you're taking a cut out of a frequency. Like, I don't know. Like for example, the fiddle sometimes can be really honky. I'm sure you've heard a really honky fiddle where it all sounds like it's through the nose. Yeah. Well, you can actually figure out what frequency that nose sound is, and you can cut that out. So basically scoop out that frequency, or at least deaden it a little bit so that it's not quite as prominent. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know if that's what he was doing with the pedal or not, but if that's what he's doing, then yeah, he's sweeping for frequencies and then scooping out the one that sounds the honkiest. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you'll turn up a really sharp frequency and sweep it through and figure out which one sounds the worst and then cut it. That's called sweeping. And scooping. In this case, I really can't tell the difference, but on the album...
Yeah, it matters a lot. Like, there's a pedal right there closest to the camera, and that's his EQ. It has a bunch of little knobs.
Because the other thing you got to think about is if there's like going to be 12 guitar layers on this, you can't have them all sounding the same. Yeah. Because it's gonna just be monotonous. So you got to have each guitar have its own unique sound so that it sits in the spectrum. And none of that can be in the same kind of frequency stuff that the vocals are in. Yeah. Because then the vocals sound muddy and cluttered, and they don't sit quite on top without turning them way, way up, which you don't want to do that either. So it's like a whole lot to think about.
And there's sometimes something called doubling, where you take the guitar and you play the same part twice, but just subtle nuances between what you're playing makes it sound just a little bit different, and then you pan them right and left, so that it gives a real wide, full, chorusy sound.
And by panning, he's talking about putting one in just the left ear and one coming right out of the right ear. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to headphones or your surround speakers, you've got two different guitars playing basically the same thing, but not the same thing.
Yeah, subtle differences.
And so it's a really cool kind of chorus.
String pressure and placement on the fret. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can hear I'm singing lead in there, which... wasn't me in the final. At least I don't think that part.
I like that little chunk.
Like,
I feel like I'm gonna say all these songs are my favorite song because this is my favorite song because of the vibe of it.
Yeah,
it's so different.
Such a chill song.
It's so perfectly vibed, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wrote this song a couple of years ago with a guy named Alex Dooley. He's actually responsible for writing Making Up for Lost Time. And Elon. He wrote Elon with me from Banner Music. Shout out, buddy. We've written some gems, man.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Jim, the man.
Hey, y'all. It's me.
Oh, this is a rap video.
We're here tracking the new Cumberland Run EP, Dial C for Country.
This is weird. I feel like I'm right here with you.
Just getting done with
it's like we're in the same room or something.
And then tomorrow
I did shave, though.
Days of overdubs, so that means
remember that party?
I do.
And then we're filling on other instruments like pedal steel and mandolin and violin and some extra guitar stuff, I think. But yeah, it's been a lot for these past 2 days, and we're very thankful that Blackbird Academy is helping us do this, and for all the guys being such great players and such great people.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be a super awesome record, and we can't wait to let you hear it. And I hope you're looking forward to it as much as we are.
Oh, yeah.
Well said, past me.
Let's see what Jim's doing.
Hey. There's that big old board. So many inputs. He's talking to Sam.
Yeah, so let me pause real quick. So right here is his microphone, and he's got a button down here that he can press, and that's his talk back to Sam. And so Sam is tracking live, I think, and he just said, I can do it a little different, so they're going to roll that back probably.
And if you look here in front of Jim, all these little knobs, they're put up to, no, these ones right in front of him, Yeah,
Oh.
the faders.
Hmm.
They're put all to different levels, and that's every instrument and every microphone. Like the drums have like 7 microphones on them.
Mm-hmm.
So every single microphone has a different threshold and a different level on it. So
And then up, if you follow each, so the fader is the volume basically control for that microphone, and
Yeah.
then up here, these will get into EQs and like literally shaping the sound of each microphone so that it can sound the best on the instrument.
and then part of that is also our levels in our ears.
Right. Some
Yeah.
of it's the feeds to our monitor mix. Crazy. And then all of that
So involved.
gets pushed to over here where you're seeing the student
Yeah.
on the controls.
And
there.
that's an entirely digital system on that computer. But if you look over here, this is such an old
You got the meters
booth. You got these analog meters over here,
right there, yeah.
still lit up with light bulbs. You know,
It's just on the other side of the glass.
Sam and Jim talking again.
Yeah.
It's-
And Ernesto over here, he's talking to the students, teaching them, making sure that everything's going well. And it's really cool because they really let them have a really hands-on approach. So the students are basically in the control seat.
Yeah,
But
these are-
Ernesto is always there, make sure nothing gets messed up, and also to just, help them with ideas.
Yeah, these kids are rock stars.
They really are.
so good at what they do. And
They're already good.
Yeah, it's like a prerequisite. You got to be good. But they're good here, and they get trained on live sound too. It's just such a comprehensive program.
I think we're skipping around a little bit in time
Yeah.
world, but let's
Let's just go with
go
flow.
with it.
Okay, you want to pause real quick?
Yeah, let's check this room out.
Okay, this
Look at
is
that.
their famed Studio C. This is their room set up for Dolby Atmos. Atmos is like the new surround sound standard. And there's like 30 speakers in there, so you can see those 3 big monitors right there in front. There's also monitors down on the ground, there's monitors up in the air, and it's completely surrounding the booth and everything, so you have a full surround sound. And
More
it's-
than surround sound.
It's the weirdest thing to hear an Atmos mix. Like, okay, if anybody out there has AirPods Pro, like
Okay.
Apple AirPods Pro, there's something called spatial audio, and that uses Atmos, and that can make things feel like you are in a surround sound setting just with earbuds on it. Like, you can hear things behind you. If you're watching something, like, I think I was watching an episode of South Park on tour once, and I turned my head and I heard all the audio switch to this ear, and it was the weirdest thing. I was like,
That's
what
weird.
the hell?
That's freaky.
Yeah.
But if you look behind here, these are diffusers.
Yeah.
And basically, when the sound wave hits that, all the different points are at different heights or different. So the
eliminates
sound
echo.
wave hits the wall all at different times, as opposed to just hitting a solid wall and bouncing straight back to you. It does it in a way that it really disperses all of the sound waves, so you're not hearing anything come back to you. So all you're hearing in this room is what's coming out of the speakers. There's very little to none getting bounced back at you from the wall, which means that you are, essentially isolating yourself to listen and mix.
And
And
this room is so bonkers. It has that there, it has it on the sides, it has it on the roof. And there's still more buffering in that room.
I think at this point,
I like the first line of that though.
You did? Okay.
okay, so this is Sam
It's Ben.
or Ben.
It's Ben, yeah.
Okay,
Ben is off to the right.
tracking his vocals. This
Yeah,
is the final vocals.
Yeah.
So this is a couple days or weeks
Yeah,
from
he's
where we
right
just
back
were.
there. You can see the GoPro
Yep,
on the
yep,
stand
yep.
back there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. There's my vocals, pre-recorded.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, let's see. We're still.
Verses captivating. I'll be out here all night.
The great thing about Jim is he's also a vocalist and
Yeah.
guitar player himself. So it's not
Stellar.
just, hey, can you kind of try and do that a little bit more like how Carrie Underwood would sing it? Or giving us these vague contemplations or comparisons to try and make up. He can actually sing it himself. So he's singing it like, hey, here's the phrase. Can we try one like that, but with your voice,
Yeah.
It's so helpful.
It's like a living reference track.
Doing that whole thing. The thing that I'm feeling is a little bit of inconsistency.
Is he talking to
in the
me?
vocal tone. Like, couple of those lines are like really powerful and gravelly, and a couple of them are still kind of hanging back.
Okay.
And so if they can all be somewhere in the middle of those two, gotcha.
I think
That's
he's still
Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one
What
recording.
you just saying you want it to be that verb.
Oh no. Do what you do for sure.
Do what I do, and then you'll just take bits and
It's
pieces.
about to get to Ben, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I'd love to get.
And the cool thing is Ben has such a range. He can get really
this guy.
he can get really deep and gravelly into the throat, or he can get really high and forward in the face. And he sounds great on both. So it's really cool that we had Jim there to help us kind of reel in what this song needed at what time.
He's such a honed, trained, like
Yeah,
on
he's
and off the stage. Even on his presence is just incredible.
Incredible.
My God.
incredible vocalist.
Yeah.
So lucky to have him.
Like, jeez.
Singing lead on some of these.
Yeah.
This is Sam again. Let's see which song this is.
This is Y'allville.
So the same song we were just watching Ben record vocals to. This is In the Past. And I don't know if you're seeing this, but he's not only playing with his pick, but he's also playing with these three fingers up here.
That's called chicken picking.
Yeah. And it's really cool. Great
There's
sound.
another one of me. I think this is Y'allville. Yeah. Playing my trusty Sabian cymbals. My Sleeshman mother tone drums.
Nice.
Nice. Maybe see if I talk to him here in a second.
So he's talking about adding a little open hi-hat before something comes in.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that's good. That's all I had for that song.
Sweet.
Now here's my cousin Pat, trusty, incredible pedal steel player. Oh my God, watch this. Woo! You can see the look on everyone's face in here watching him record. It's just nuts.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you'll get more of him later.
So cool.
Fun fact about him.
Yeah.
He played in the Navy, U.S. Navy bluegrass band.
Oh, awesome.
It's odd to think that there's a bluegrass band for the Navy, but they are like they tour around and play bluegrass, and there's a bunch of different bands. I guess they just like
killer.
entertain the troops and stuff.
That is killer.
Yeah, but man, he's played the Opry. It's crazy.
All right. Let's see what you're doing here.
More cell phone footage.
Shout out, Apple.
Trying to get my
his note.
tones.
Getting his note.
Old Road Romeo.
I'm doing background vocals here, harmonies.
So notice how he's like changing his timbre. It's just like what we were talking about with the
Old Road Romeo.
guitars. You don't want a whole bunch of the same sounding guitars. He sings differently when he's singing background than when he's singing lead.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm doing head voice or chest voice here.
It's kind of a mix.
Yeah. I think I'm just.
But it's a
I'm
little
doing-
bit more round than what your
Yeah.
normal lead is.
I think I'm doing a really subdued chest voice.
Because it you can't hear the other vocals in your like right now, but in his head he's got the other vocals playing, and he's doing the tone that fits.
And when I
in
have
between 'em.
the cans or the headphones on my head, I can't always hear my natural voice as it is in the room. So that's the reason I'm going because I'm comparing it to what is playing in my ears while trying to hear what's coming out of my body. Oh, the fun part.
So we had all the students come in there. I think we're gonna have some footage of it
Yeah, we
later,
do.
but they're all singing. So shout out to the students at
We wanted to make
Blackbird.
it feel
Academy.
like a big party.
It's so fun. Like I said,
Yeah.
this is the vibe song.
Yeah. This is the song.
You're gonna
play
be
at
right
the
there with
bar.
us.
Yeah.
You're gonna listen to this in your
in your Toyota Tacoma and feel like you're at the party.
You're right there with us.
Ford Ranger.
So they're literally picking between syllables here. That's how like tight this is. So Jim will listen to 13 of Ben's take of the same line, or Thomas or Sam, and he'll syllable by syllable pick, okay, this one rang better, this one didn't.
Yeah, he really felt it on this line, and this one's not so enthusiastic. I mean, you got to chop it up a little bit to get the best balance.
It's really cool.
And he's doing a full take here, even though it goes back and forth between myself, Ben, and Sam.
So you can tell the pink, the kind of orangish pink here, that's him actually recording.
Yeah.
So this is him actually recording it. And like Thomas said, this in the song, it cuts between different vocalists, but he's doing a full take right now.
Just so he can get a natural flow.
Yeah.
And some of the things you'll notice, like going into the chorus, he had to quit. He had to quit early. And that's why we have multiple singers, so you can carry out that full note, and the next person will take over for you.
The lines will.
It feels like, you're sharing a song with your bud.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same, but we get a different song maybe, but same kind of feel, layering the guitars. Alright, this is them studying.
Chickadee, chickadee, chickadees. He's talking about what Tristan did.
Yeah, I think we actually
He's
heard
talking
the
to
other,
Sam.
or saw the other side of this conversation in a previous video. Yeah, okay. So that's that.
Rules and regulations to follow till we die. Where you gotta learn, or where you gotta
Verse
be.
2 of
Elon.
License.
License, yeah.
That's enough for me.
Me, you may have certification, you may have some pedigree.
Yeah.
I may not be smart enough for some fancy degree.
You may need to
Permit to go out and drive a car.
Love it.
Another rap video.
That is a wrap, everybody. We are done with the second Cumberland Run EP. I'm
Whoa.
so proud of this new record. It has been such a blast to record.
Little did I know it was not
So
anywhere
thankful
close to
everyone
done.
involved, Blackbird Academy,
That's so much
Blackbird
left to
Studio, all
do.
the students of the class this year,
Yeah.
all the great and awesome musicians and members of the band that played on this record, and of course Jim, our awesome
Lil.
producer.
Killing it.
And it's just mind blowing what we've done with this record, and I'm so looking forward to showing all of you what we've done and what we've accomplished. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really took this record to the next level. I remember talking to a connection of mine at CMT about the last record we did, and they said this is actually pretty good for you producing it yourself, but you need to get a producer for the next one and take your stuff to the next level. And I really think we have achieved that goal.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. All right, let's skip down a little bit and see what your cousin's up here doing.
Mm-hmm. That's GoPro footage. Using the rear neck. You can't hear too much of what he's doing. There we go. Because his amp is in another room.
So cool. Oh, that's the sound of country music right there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, it's easy for me to think that fiddle is what makes it country, but you just can't deny when you hear that sound, it is country.
I mean, there's a reason that there's a chain of bars called Fiddle and Steel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, fiddle definitely has its place, and I love it, but that like you can't
Replicate that.
you can't replicate that, not even on a guitar.
Yeah, not
like
even-
guitarists
yeah.
try,
Mm-hmm.
but it's never
They
gonna be
emulate it, but they don't replicate it.
that. Oh,
It's just a combo of those 10 fretless strings.
it's either country or SpongeBob.
Yeah, Hawaiian music. Luau music. Doot, 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 doot.
Let's see this angle. Oh, this is on Old Road Romeo.
Yeah. Oh, here's a fun fact. I was so stressed out.
Look, he passed out on the floor.
I'm so stressed because like literally a day after this, we went out to Texas for our first Texas market shows.
Yeah.
We went to Austin for a weekend, and I had, all of this on my plate to play on the record, produce the record, manage everyone that wanted to come in and out all during the day, set up the tour to Texas, and then co-produce with Jim, and videography for all of this. Every time you see a camera angle is something I have set up. I was just burned out, so I had to go and lay down on the floor.
wearing all the hats, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, I think this is some final vocal stuff.
We should go back to the Steel eventually, because they have some cool notes where they're talking to each other.
Okay.
We can find that.
Yeah.
Cut it up.
I'm jumping around here. I know we're already at 40 minutes, folks, but so far it's like been so much fun looking through this.
Yeah, a nice candid camera is a lot of fun.
Why it's so quiet? Just trying to figure out keys, I think, or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the correct harmony.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of sonic possibilities for harmonies. Yeah, we're talking about what's better, chest voice or head voice.
Gotcha.
Falsetto or trying to belt it.
Oh, I heard you say mimic, and that is really important. Yeah. Like trying to figure out not only matching, because especially when you have so many different vocalists doing the lead, the harmonies that go with your vocal lead have to be slightly different than the harmonies that go with Sam or Ben. Not necessarily note-wise, but placement-wise in the mouth. Just
inflection has to be close. Yeah.
Sam has a certain way of inflection, and and the harmonies need to match that.
Pronunciation, inflection, note, like tonality.
It's a lot to think about that you don't think about.
How long is the note held? Here's what you were talking about earlier.
I love this. This is all
we stuffed as many of those kids we could put in that room. See, I'm just struggling to get into this little booth.
This is the little vocal booth that Thomas was just in and Ben has been in.
It's basically big enough for one person. We put like 6 people in there.
And then the instructions were be a bunch of rowdy party people.
Yeah, the problem is...
Don't worry about vocal tone. Won't worry about... Yeah, yell it. Be drunk.
The problem, which is hilarious here, is in one of these clips, is you're gonna give up not being able to hear, and you're gonna start kind of conducting.
Oh yeah.
But you forgot to turn the headphones down, so it's just blasting into your ears, and you nearly go deaf.
Yeah, that was really, really bad.
I think it's this one. Might have been the last one.
Because we didn't mind a little bit of bleed, because it's a gang this is what you call gang vocals, where it's really just about the ambiance.
It's gonna be mixed down.
Yeah, it's just adding those extra people, the company.
That little girl, she was having a good time.
She was having such a blast. So fun.
It can feel weird to do that.
Yeah, too. But I mean, it's such a extra detail that, records that we love do.
I think this is vamping for Sam. I don't have a ton of footage for some reason of him. I think the camera died.
Oh, weird. Let's see what he does.
Say less. Yeah, he's just chilling out in there. I think it's towards the end. There he goes.
Oh yeah. So long. So far, I don't think we're really going to cut much of this video. I think this has been fun, you know?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of, like, space we're going to cut, but yeah.
Look at... we're just messing around with the mandolin here.
It's for Y'allville. The only song that took mandolin in the song was Y'allville.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of chop chunks. And I think I originally started off with more of like a lyrical mandolin part, like a melody part.
Yeah.
And then Jim was like, there's already so much melody going on with the fiddle and other instruments in this and the pedal steel. He's like, can you just do a chop of the chords? And I was like, sure. So that's basically what this is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that we don't have any acoustic guitar footage and we don't have any fiddle footage. It was just came down to how much could I record and what could I set up, and I forgot to tell you guys to record yourself.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, so there's this, but like all the tracking day stuff, I just don't have anything of that.
Yeah.
That room.
That was actually a really tricky solo that I did on the first day, and it worked so cool, so well, that I had to teach it to myself again. I was like, how did I do that?
And this is Elon, I think.
Yeah.
Just doing little interludes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I
Pretty.
think that was the note he gave me. Just hold that note out a little bit longer. This is so fun doing this stuff in the studio.
Okay, that was a little different.
Yeah. And what's cool too is a little behind the scenes thing is I might have done maybe 5 or 6 different versions of these, and they're all kind of different, slightly different, and then they magically put the best parts of each one together.
Yeah,
So,
I remember when we put it together, Ernesto and I was like, hey man, just so you know, we Frankensteined your parts together.
which I love. Some people get annoyed with that, but I honestly love, like,
And it really worked.
yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
like,
too much.
because it's all still me.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't have all amazing ideas all at the same time. Or
Yeah.
there's like, like I said, there's sometimes like 5 or 6 cool, awesome ways of doing something.
Yeah.
But with a fiddle, you can actually piece a lot of those together and make one ridiculously awesome thing to do. And then that's really fun because then I have to go back and learn how to play it for real from the Frankenstein piece so that when we're traveling, touring on the road, people can hear those
I think
solos.
it's kind of easier for you at that point, right?
Well, yeah, because all of it's stuff that comes naturally out of me. It's just remembering, like, okay, this needs to go here, that needs to go there, like...
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's no
We
problem.
just make your job easier to simplify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, recording for Y'allville. I think I'm trying to get the right verbiage. Like, I'm trying to get the right cadence. Yeah, so I'm trying to get the right pronunciation of drunk. Like, I think we're all getting drunk. Like, get the right length, get the K, the plosive to stand out.
So cool.
There's only one stoplight. I had to figure out what that starting note had to be. This is the bridge. Yeah, I was talking to Jim about how exactly to say that. What's the cadence going to be?
Now, why are there 2 mics? I say actually 3 mics pointed at you.
They're all options.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that has the pop filter in front of it is the one we decided on. And the pop filter is that thing I'm snapping
It's
into.
right here.
Yeah.
Used to be a pantyhose people would put over a clothes hanger or something, but now they've got real ones. But pop filters basically to keep the
Plosives.
P's and all that stuff that would normally blow right into the microphone or spit right into the microphone.
Make it peak.
Yeah, it keeps it kind of level so that you don't have those popping P's.
So there's that SM7 over there, and that's the one that Ben
That's this
used
one right here.
most of the time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I think I'm singing into the Manly. It could be the other one. I know we really liked the Manly for the first record.
SM7 is the mic that you see a lot of podcasters use and stuff like that. So you're probably familiar already with the way that sounds. These mics that are hung upside down.
What you can't see me doing right now is there's a mixer behind me, and I'm getting
Down
my
here.
levels.
Yeah.
Just pull it forward a little bit.
And on that mixer, he's got actually like his own little soundboard that we showed you before. Literally every instrument and stuff is tracked into those channels, so he can, I want less fiddle, I want more guitar, I want more of my voice or less of my voice, and he can mix it the way he needs to hear it.
Very utilitarian.
Because that's the thing you don't think about when you're in the studio. You don't always want it to sound like a record in your ears.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need your voice more forward, or there's instruments that before they get EQ'd, they might take up some of that vocal range. So like your fiddles, your guitars, some of them will take up the same space that your vocals do. And if you're trying to sing over it, sometimes that can be really distracting. So
Yeah, I mean, I'll even say live, I often don't want my mix to sound like a CD or like a fully mixed record.
me either.
Yeah, I just, I mean, a lot of people I know do. They want it to sound perfect. It's like, you don't need that. What you need is something that will make your job easier. And it's not personal to anybody.
No.
I cut out the acoustic guitar because it's too percussive to me.
It
So,
kind of distracts.
yeah,
Where's
and-
the click? Where's my beat? Where
I can lose things that are important to me, like the click. And
honestly, the acoustic guitar being a little lackadaisical and pushing and pulling can actually add to the thickness of a song.
Yeah.
So you want that, but
yeah,
not
you
in
want
your
the
ears.
human element of it. But
I've always got the click, the loudest thing in my head.
Yeah.
And then under that is probably me, and then the rest of the band is kind of well washed. Most of the time I don't need much drums in my ears because normally I can either feel them or I'm right beside them, and the click is what I'm really paying attention to. So I get a little snare and hat action to keep me with Thomas, but
a NASCAR on Sunday. 50's jacked up with the 12 gauge.
I also like to say, like, I can tell when you're smiling and singing when
Yeah.
I hear back on the record. Like, it feels like you're smiling.
Yeah, that's a big producer note. Like this.
It just has a little bit more life to it. You're not just singing notes. And again, you're not necessarily trying to be pretty. You're trying to be
In,
this, the vibe.
as what's the word I'm looking for?
Southern.
Emphasis. You're trying to emphatic. That's the word I'm looking for. You're trying to be emphatic.
I'm going to skip ahead to Ben here.
That's fine.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Oh, my. Calm down.
I'm having him because I think I forgot to record him during his actual takes here.
Okay, so
I'm
he's
having
done.
him redo it.
Okay.
But actually, I think what Jim said is this because he wasn't so hard on himself.
Focusing.
Yeah, he's performing for the camera here. He actually did most of the stuff we kept in the final
That's amazing.
track. Yeah, that's a really cool note.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't have to record this. He's like, no, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And it worked.
That's a smart move on Jim. This is why we love Jim.
Yeah.
Because it really is. There's something about getting in your head and feeling the pressure of that red light, you know? And he's using the SM57.
SM7.
Or SM7, yeah.
I think that's the one we used, yeah. Because this is actually where he starts singing in the second half of the first verse.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like they're... Yeah, that's...
Yep. Because he's putting
Yeah.
a little, it's that smile, and he's putting a little bit more action into his motions and everything, and it comes across in the voice. It really does.
Yeah, so it's kind of a trick.
Yeah.
We said, hey, just like make it look good for the camera for the music video, and you know, so he's making it a bit more dramatic, but he's actually doing some stuff we kept, which is fun.
And you know, that's why normally when I track fiddle, I do like to stand. Now, this was long days, so I
Yeah.
preferred to sit because I knew it was going to be a long day. But I like to perform like I'm performing in front of an audience because it's not always cleanest, but it's almost always the best performance.
1 + 1 = 2.
Thinking about it.
Got that nice delay in there, just
That's fun.
for comedic effect. Pause for comedic effect. Yeah, I got this nice angle.
It's cool. What song is this, you think?
Old Road, I think. Because I'm pretty sure I used this in one of the videos. It's either Y'allville or Old Road.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Old Road.
Put your bets in now.
Yeah, performing.
Uh-oh. Let's go.
Yep, Old Road. Jungle Toms. Syncopate the cymbal hits with the guitar. Ba, ba, ba. Ow, I got it wrong. Okay.
And they just stopped you. They're like, hey.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, I didn't mean to pause it. I meant to...
Just pause the video.
Yeah.
Oh, that's later.
You want me to go back?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know what I was going to say to him. Yeah, go back a little more.
Yeah.
Give him options. I'm asking them if they want me to do it again.
I think he said no.
Oh yeah, I've been taking notes. That's what I'm looking at. I'm
Oh,
looking at my
okay.
phone. I took notes while we were doing it of what I needed to do
Oh, down
again.
here at the table?
Yeah, what I needed to punch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking them to let me punch in certain parts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And they're letting me hear it so that I have a frame of reference.
Nice, nice.
You can pull it ahead a little if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
No, we're not going to show that. No.
Cut it. Cut it. There we go.
Yeah.
Trying different crash options.
It's hard when you're doing these type of things because you have the thing that you naturally do, and then you have the thing that you talked about would be a good idea. And so you've got that in your head, and you're trying to remember which one to actually do.
We actually cut this. We cut that out. It's too much.
Okay.
So they're like giving options. You know, having more than what you actually need.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And what part of the song is this?
This is a solo.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure those bell hits were just pristine.
They're freaking ringing,
Yeah.
man. It's awesome.
Take it forward.
Forward just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah. I think it's.
he's leaving.
I think I just left it. Hold on. Okay, what's here? What's this? I think the guys are gonna joke here in a second. Go for it, love.
I can't hear anything. I love the discussion.
Yeah, a one-sided discussion.
It's cool about making a record this way with everybody in the same room. Like we're talking it through.
And if you see me look up like that, I think there's a camera in the top corner of the room, which I'm looking at. So either that or Jim is in the room with me and talking to me. But I think there's a camera in the room because in the master suite with all the board, they can see us in certain camera angles.
Right. So when you're talking back to Jim, you're looking at the camera because you know that he's
That's
looking
where he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go back a little bit. That's where they were telling a joke. Some gross. We probably should cut.
Yeah. Oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay. All right, we're at the last 4 videos, man.
Yeah.
And we're not going to show much of this because this is basically just
it's tracking.
This is tracking, but this is the setup. So you can see Stino's here. If you look off camera, which you can't see, I'm looking at Stino through this window here because I'm in a separate ISO booth. Obviously, our leader Thomas there, and Sam over here on guitar.
I think Tristan is right below the camera.
And Tristan, yeah, he's back here somewhere.
Yeah.
You kind of saw the where's the amp and everything, the cab was.
Yeah, I just couldn't pick up everything.
Yeah. And these little boxes here, you can see them a little bit better in this. Woo! You see a little bit better right here. So right here, you see this is the monitor board that we were talking about.
Mixer.
Yeah, the mixer. So each one of these little faders is its own track to one of the guys, or to the click, or to the talkback. You see right here is his talkback mic. You got a talkback mic here. Got a talkback mic.
It's right in front of him.
Oh, right in front of him.
Yeah, it's right there.
And we have a little foot switch on the floor that you can see here and here. And that is for us to basically click that microphone on and off. So when we want to talk to Jim or any of the other band members, we all hear it at the same time through the talkback channel. And that's all we do. We look right into the camera or look right into the guy's face and click on the button for the mic, and we can chat about things while we're tracking.
What sucks is when you're trying to give references for what you want to do. That's often what is used for that. I get in trouble especially bad because drums are very loud. So when I'm giving them options, I'll sometimes forget to undepress the pedal.
Oh my goodness. So the drums will come through not only the drum tracks, which is like 12 microphones, but also through the very loud,
very sensitive talkback mic that's meant to pick up my voice.
Because when we use the talkback, we're like, "Hey guys, this is what we're doing." So you're meant to be on it, and so it's turned up really loud. But yeah, he'll forget to turn the mic on.
Yeah. Yeah,
everybody's here.
Often it was a hi-hat thing, and you saw how close it was. There's basically a hi-hat mic at that point.
Woof.
And it's just
So honestly, guys, I think this pretty much wraps it up because the other video is exactly like this, just tracking those other songs. Is there a reason you want to watch?
Yeah, let's just see what the other songs are like. This is, there's the picture.
Hi,
Stino back there. Can you zoom in on Stino?
I don't know. Maybe.
Let's try.
Hello. Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi guys.
Stino, Sam, cracking us up.
Yeah.
Thomas's famous train beat.
Not quite as fast as the Devil Game, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to bring that.
This song is a burner.
Yeah.
I love it. Fiddle's going nuts, guitar's going nuts. If for some reason you're watching this and you haven't heard this song yet, License to Trill, you got to check it out right now. What are you doing? This is fun.
It's the first song on the record, so easy to find.
It sounds boring when you just listen to the drum parts, but I
Well,
swear
not to me, but
I know it's like
I hear all the nuance. But
I know because
yeah.
you hear things that you're doing, but they make most sense when you've got the whole band going.
It's hard also in the studio to do it all. You were talking about doing it all in one spot, to not have time away, because specifically with drums, you basically have 2 days to do everything.
Yep.
And like when I'm recording personal stuff for demos, I'll have like a week off.
Right.
And I can come back and do it again.
Yeah, and go I don't really like that.
Yeah, it's like, I think I should have done this better or should have done this different. And I can take notes. There's like 12 hours between sessions where I have time to think about it. And I'm often just trying to chill,
Right.
Just recoup from the day.
Totally.
But I'm vibing here. This is Elon. Taking those big swipes at the hi-hat.
Now this song is lyrically my favorite song.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that to me. I remember when we were opening for Blake Shelton. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Cale Dodds was playing a show. And dude,
he shouted you out.
I was so impressed and so grateful. He was like the third person. He was like the band right before Runaway June, which was direct tour support for Blake.
Yeah.
And he took time out of his set to tell people to go find the Tesla Truck song by Cumberland Run, because he heard it on Tuned In, which is his lead guitarist's online music show, which we performed on earlier that year. And I was like, whoa, this guy, because he that year had just gotten his first #1 with Chase Rice and Florida Georgia Line. Drinking beer, talking God Amen.
Yeah.
So he just got his first #1, and
he's still shouting out.
And he's talking about my song on stage.
I am not a lyric guy normally, but hearing this one is a really funny story.
It's a
really funny story.
I took a lot of inspiration from Brad Paisley, like songs like Alcohol and Online.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
It's just a big joke. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. And Sam did a really great job singing on this one. We gave it to him because it was more of a classic,
fits his voice, classic country.
Buck Owen kind of classic country, and he just
nailed it.
Yeah, that's just such in his wheelhouse that we just said, "You try this,"
and it was perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, there he is. There's Jim.
Okay, so this was probably the first song that we tracked because he is still setting up the drums at this point. That's Jim Lill, our producer. He is hunched over.
Going to work.
He gets in there. He's not just a, hey, you go fix that. He's a...
very hands-on.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah, I hired the right guy.
Because he's not annoying with it, Like what I was talking about earlier when he's singing the parts. Sometimes you have people that just sing too much, and you're like, hey, I'm the singer. Like, let's not show me how it's done or whatever every 5 seconds. But no, he only comes in and he's the final touch guy. He's great.
It helps that he feels like he's a peer.
Yeah, he's another member of the band.
Right there with us.
Yeah.
He's not just some overlord that says, all right, that sucked, do it better.
And he was also great to work with because if you had an issue that nobody else thought was wrong, but you were like, I don't know if I like the way I performed that.
Yeah.
He would go back and listen and give like an honest, like, okay, let's try it again just to have an option. I liked it, but let's try it again just for you. So it was like he actually listened to us. It wasn't just like he was, well, I've already got a vision for this song.
Yeah. He was real good with me. I came in and I said to him, okay, because I've met with a bunch of different producers, some really big names and some, other people that were just like, we're only going to use my guys, so none of your band members can play on this, just the singers. And I was like, that's not how I want to do it.
There's definitely a place for that if you're part of the machine, if you're trying to just crank out tunes and you want somebody who's played on every hit record, so it's going to sound like a hit record. But
or even if you just don't have the time to like have everyone like, for example, you're on the Cagle gig, you're playing with Chris Cagle. A lot. So, it could come down to everybody in the band is on tour or doing something else, and we need to put out a song, and we need to do it now. So we have to use session players, and that's perfectly acceptable. We prefer doing it ourselves, but it can't always be that way.
It's more fun.
Yeah, it is more fun.
And, you end up Because the reason why a lot of those sessions now, definitely every session player is phenomenal.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the reason
One-take wonders.
the reason why a lot of them can do it in one take is because they have so much experience playing over these chord progressions. And really a lot of the country chord progressions are very similar, if not the same. So they have a bucket of licks that's probably more than any of ours that they can just pull from. But with us, we're creating things right here in the studio and stuff that we've never played before, and we're coming up with it like, hey, try this, try that, and then Frankensteining things together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun.
He's really getting in there.
Have you even played that drum for him yet? I think you have. I think you kicked it. And
I
he
got
was
him
like,
one kick, and he's like, all right, that's good.
all right, yeah.
Let me do this. Let me do the rest. Up. Thumbs up. We're good to go.
All right. Sam's got the...
Trying to get to the right charts.
Oh, did you see that? So he's stepping right there on
the
pedal. That's how he talks to the band. Guys, I don't know that there's much more to see here, so I guess what's left is just thank you again for supporting this album. You made all of this possible. The reason why we were able to be in such a nice studio with such a great producer, and we have Thomas to thank for the awesome songs, but everything else is because you.
Yes.
You're the
glue,
the
blood,
glue,
the lifeblood to this record. It would not have happened if we had not had your help.
Yeah.
And it's just such a relief that it is finally all done, and we're ready to give it to everybody to enjoy and relax with, as I can relax now, hopefully.
So thank you again. We hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the making of Dial C for Country, the newest record from Cumberland Run. You got to let us know what you think of it. Give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you.
You want a little Easter egg for the end? A little post-credit
why
Easter
not?
egg? So I named the EP Dial C for Country like a year ago. I thought it was a fun homage to the film Dial M for Murder, and I actually had a high school teacher that made a college film in his film class, Dial P for Pizza. so shout out Greg Thompson.
Yeah.
So I thought, has anyone done this before? Has anyone done a Dial C for Country? And lo and behold, no one had done it before. So I was like, that's cute, that's fun.
Heck yeah.
The kicker here is I had already named the record. I was already moving on marketing and promotion and like trying to get a album art done with him. And then maybe a week later I was just like, that's actually a good song title. So I'm writing a song called Dial C for Country that's not going to be on the EP called Dial C for Country. So look out for that one in the future. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's funny how things work, I guess.
Dial S for sequel. Bye, y'all.
Later. Yeah, so we decided to come back.
Yeah, we went back through and like we said, we were talking about skipping over some of the pedal steel stuff, but there's just some
There's an abundance of
amazing stuff in these clips. So sorry for the extra, but we can't help ourselves.
I don't think they're going to complain. You know?
Look at this.
Watch him
Wait
go,
for it.
man.
Wait for it. He's got his head moving and everything for it. Here comes after me. Oh no, guitar?
Yeah. Right now.
Look, they got it in the back. They're like, yeah, he did that. Yeah, jeez. He's just a monster.
Let's see what he is here. Is he going to do the cool part? The cool run? I think he is. Okay. No. There's one in the actual... we got an actual take in the song, which... Yeah, another bonkers.
All of our parts are Frankenstein, because
Yeah.
that is the coolest thing about doing it this way.
Yeah. Getting a talent like him to just do some bonkers stuff. You can't afford to just say, okay, now, that was great. do it again.
Right.
It's like it's lightning in a bottle. You're not going to get it again.
That classic country twang. I like some of these clips because he's talking.
Uh-huh.
So he's pointing to the chart. I don't know if you can see this, but there are numbers on this chart. So that's a Nashville number chart.
Mm-hmm. They're arranging parts, basically. They're looking at the number chart and they're figuring out what makes the most sense. See, because he is coming in today and doing this today. He's never seen these songs before.
Yeah.
I don't think I showed him much of the songs before this.
Sorry about that. Our camera died, but keeping going. They're talking about this number chart right here.
You want to back it up a little bit where we were talking about it?
Sure. I mean,
it's like towards the middle, I think. Yeah, so what I was saying is this is his first time seeing this. This is Pat. He's never played on these before. So
never heard these, never seen these charts.
No, it's just how incredible he is. It just pop out these awesome licks.
But it's cool though because there's so many things going on in this. It's more than just knowing what chord to play. Jim and him were actually talking about what note in the chord to play for these. So that's what they were figuring out then. Jim was saying like F, E,
And how a pedal steel works is there's, 10 strings per neck, and that one has 2 necks on it. And there's about 8 pedals that all form different chords. And there's some knee levers, which you, move your knee back and forth and up and down, and it's just nuts how those things
So
operate.
He's tap dancing under that desk right there.
Yeah, that's why sometimes you'll see it shake around. And you have to have a surgical precision with that bar because there's frets, but you can't feel them. It's just like floating on air.
Yeah. I mean, you can see how high that action is.
Yeah.
Action meaning the distance between the strings and the
frets,
fretboard.
Yeah. It's all basically vision based.
Yeah. The frets do nothing.
Except for tell you where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing, I think they call it the C neck. That's the back neck, which is used for a lot of classic country, like Western.
Mm-hmm.
More contemporary country is played on that front neck. Don't know why. It just is.
Let's scrub through a little bit. I think he gets to talking again somewhere in this one.
Is it that one he talks again?
Yeah, I think.
No, it's just us talking.
Oh.
I had to beg Ernesto for some extra time. I think we reached 5:30 or something. I was like, can we have another 30 minutes? 30, please. 30, please.
And they did it.
Yeah, they did it. They're nice to me.
Because he's awesome.
They like me there. Oh. Hey.
It's interesting to note, though, because, yes, he is looking at the chart and he is reading it, but he's also relying on his ears so much because he has to if you look at where his eyes are, he's looking at his steel pretty much the whole time. So it's like in between takes, he's memorizing this chart, and then the most part, he's playing by ear, and see, there he just looked back up, where am I? And then he's back down, focused fully on the steel. Looking back at the chart.
Recycling licks. Creating new stuff on the fly. Trying to see what works.
And that's really where the magic comes, because if you're stuck on the page, you're not going to get that that feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to feel very robotic. It's going to feel very recycled and, whatever. Yeah, just cool. This guy's the best. Your cousin.
Yeah, I love having him on. Our family is not the most musical, but I think we stick out. And JV, his granddad, was a great fiddle player, really.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
They're trying to figure out the arrangement for the chords. This song had a bit of... It was simple, but it had a bit of confusion because that chorus, bah, 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 it's all the same chord.
Mm-hmm.
It's just played in a different voicing.
Yeah.
So that's how it had that rising sound, but it didn't actually go anywhere.
Right.
It's kind of like those audio memes that you hear where it sounds like dude.
It just
dude,
keeps getting
dude,
higher and higher
dude,
and higher and higher.
dude, but it actually doesn't actually go anywhere.
No, it's like looped 7 times
Yeah,
and you think it's still rising. Yeah. But he took the new information and just freaking went right back in there and crushed it.
Yeah, the kids are loving it. It's great when you can turn a room of people that are not country heads.
Oh my goodness, how many of them told us like we don't really dig country music,
Yeah,
but
you guys
we
rock.
love you guys. So that's like the best compliment you can
Yeah.
get when you're playing music that's just undeniably fun and good and just
Yeah.
easy to get into.
Wholesome, yeah. Yeah, also we had a little bit of good juju in the studio. Another little fun Easter egg. So we're in Studio C, and in that same part of the building is Studio D, slightly larger studio.
Mm-hmm.
And right next door was modern country legend Sam Hunt.
No, right,
recording what's actually coming out right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was in there with my buddy, producer that I've talked to for other projects, a guy named Ilya Toshinsky. He's won like Best Banjo Grammys multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a bunch of like rock stars over there. But I met Sam when I went to like de-stress outside. I was like, that's a nice car outside. It's like some classic muscle car, and we're used to him with like a clean-shaven face, short hair. He had like bushy hair and a big old beard, and it was a weird thing to be like, nice to meet you, and then go
You're
back
Sam
and
Hunt.
make some magic
Yeah.
on our own record. It's
Yeah.
just like a nice boost to make. I'm sharing a studio with Sam Hunt today. I think I'm doing pretty good.
All right, y'all. Well, we promise that's the last time.
All right.
We saw those and we were like, we have to go back and
Yeah,
at least put something at the end here with.
Too good to miss that.
Yeah, so fun. All
All
right.
right. Thanks.
Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.